Hello and welcome to the series How to Build Test Automation Framework using Page Object Model in Selenium and Java. So in today's video, I'm going to demonstrate a very important topic, Test Automation Framework Architecture. So let's see. So in a test automation framework, the first component is test script. So this component consists of a package or set of classes which will contain all the functional flows and the validation. Then the second component is base test and test manager, and as you see, like base test and test managers will have the setup and the teardown method. So for any test scenario you might need some prerequisite. To set up those prerequisite, we need a setup method, and to clear down things like if there are any open connection from the DB, you can clear or close that connection in a teardown, or if you want to take screenshots, etc., can be done in the teardown method. Then the third component is like the helper or the utilities which you might be required during your automation execution. So the first is like a read property file. So this will be an helper which will read the property files and provide you the values which are present in a file. Then environment variables and the tokens. So during your execution, you need to take certain or build certain strategy depending upon the environment variables, or certain places you might need a token. So this is just an example of few utilities or the helper class which you might be required during your automation framework. Now the next is the page classes and the action classes. As we are following the page object model strategy or the approach, so in this we will have the classes with respect to each page present on the UI, and these classes will have all the action methods. For example, on a login page, the actions are entering a username, entering a password, and clicking on a login button. So these are the action with respect to the login page. And then there might be another page like forgot password. So in forgot password, the actions are entering the email address and clicking on the forgot password link. So then there will be another page, forgot password page, and it will has those actions. Then there will be another component, that's a base page, and this base page will have all the common functionalities or the action which you need. For example, click. So click will be needed in the login page, as also click will be needed on the forgot password page. Like type, so typing in any of the text field and get text, all sort of common methods we can keep into the base page, and each page class can extend this base page. And yeah, definitely during your automation scripts, sometime you need some help. To read the values from the property files or from the environment variables and tokens. So definitely these helper class will always be available for it. Then locators, if you want to click on certain elements, or you want to type in certain elements, then there will be a set of, I usually prefer to keep the locator in an interface, so that each class can implement that interface and use the locators present into an interface. But definitely there are different approaches that can be followed depending upon your project requirements and your strategy, how you are building your automation framework. Now the another thing is like constants and enums. So in your framework, at certain places you might requires a constant. So for example, in the UI automation framework, say let's say you require a implicit wait and explicit wait time, so you can keep those time which will be constant throughout your framework in the constant class at one place, so that if you will change at this place, it will be changed throughout the framework. So it's a better to keep it at some single place. So maybe you can name it as a constants. Then enums. So enums is like, for example, in different projects, depending upon your requirement, you can keep it. Like for example, you might have a users like super user or admin user and normal user. So you might create a enum depending upon your scenarios, and based on these enum you can decide your flows. Then the next is like models and DTOs, and you might require these model and DTOs for certain validation. For example, in your application there is a page on which there are multiple fields or labels which displays a user detail. So then then you can create a model user and have a object of user, and then grab all the details present from the UI or maybe from the API, and then compare those models value, which will be the expected value, with the actual which you grab from the UI or from the API. Then of course these page classes and action classes will be utilized by our test script. After that, there is another important component, data provider. In your framework, for certain scripts you might do uh, uh, require a data provider. For example, let's say if there is scenario, you have a application where you search for let's say a product, then you need to search with some special character. So because if you see, the search functionality is same, the only thing you are just uh, 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 providing a different data, and the test flow is same. So for such scenarios there is a data provider components, and we should use in our automation framework. Then comes the execution. So in execution, like you can execute your test framework. So for like UI, you can have like Selenium Docker grids and all, so that so your automation framework will require executes in the Selenium grid. And also the next component is the listener. Why we need a listener? So for example, let's say your test fails at certain point, and you need to take a screenshot. So you can add a screenshot implementation in the listener. Also the next component which we talk about, the rerun. So because in UI there are the chances like test script fails multiple times, and they fails due to like latency, network lag and all. So in certain scenario you might require to rerun, so then you can write your retry logic and add those retry logic in the listener component. After that, of course, all these execution will happen either locally or by the help of Jenkins. And then at the end comes the final component, which is reporting. So in an automation framework, the reporting is the most important component. It tells about the health of an application. So if we have a good report which tells about everything, like the report should contain each and every steps properly, it should contain what data member, what data we are providing during the execution of our test script, what data we are verifying, and if scripts are failing in case of a UI, it should have a screenshot and the loggers and whatever the exceptions in case of failure, whatever the stack trace. So report should contain all those things. Apart from that, other important things like the on which environment it is running, on which build it is running, in case of a UI, which browser it's running. So all sort of important things should be present in the reporting. So in nutshell, I could say that this is the basic architecture of a test automation framework that one should have in their automation framework. Thank you all. That's what I wanted to demonstrate in this video. So if you like this content, please hit the like button, subscribe my channel, and comment and share with others. Thank you.